Welcome back to Temple Emmanuel. Spring has truly and finally sprung in Northeast Ohio, and we are moving through the Omer, the counting of the 49 days, the week of weeks between Passover and Shavuot, Zman Matan Toratenu, the celebration of our receiving the Torah at Sinai. One of the things that we all know is that as we study the Torah portions each week throughout the year, that some of the Torah portions are not exactly easy for us moderns to understand. And this week's Torah portion, the combined Parshiot of Tazria and Metzora in the book of Leviticus, is certainly no exception. In fact, this may be one of the most discomforting Torah portions or two Torah portions in our entire lectionary, in our entire cycle of scriptural readings. This week's Torah portion deals with matters of ritual impurity or ritual ineligibility, frequently mistranslated as meaning unclean. But what all of these things we're talking about have in common is they are things that alienate us from God and in many ways alienate us from each other. The Torah portion starts out by speaking about the period of ritual ineligibility for women when they give birth to a male or a female. The period is longer for a female birth than a male birth. Who knows why? The Torah is not a feminist document by any stretch of the imagination, and that gives us something to ponder about and think about, although perhaps that was God's purpose, to make us in our day and in our age think about what the implications of treating women and men or boys and girls differently really is. The Torah portion then goes on to talk about Metzora, usually misunderstood as leprosy. It's really a broad category of any kind of skin disease, the kind of skin disease that according to the Torah would leave you ineligible to come in contact with things holy and might have the Kohen come and sequester you from the rest of the community. Now, our ancestors did not understand bacteriology, and they had perhaps only a rudimentary understanding of contagion. But what they did believe, that we, most of us, no longer believe, is that the outward manifestation of disease, the outward manifestation of somebody being different in any physical way, was somehow an indicator of some internal spiritual condition that made you less than right with God, that kept you away from God and perhaps the community as well. Today we understand skin diseases better than we used to, and while there are still plenty of medical mysteries out there to be solved, we understand most of these things as medical conditions, not necessarily as the result of sin or misbehavior. Nevertheless, we read these Torah portions every year. And the lesson that we should be taking from these Torah portions is that it is our job, as it was the job of the Kohen, to look for those parts of society, those people in society, or perhaps even groups in the global community who have been marginalized because we think that there's something wrong with them. We think that they are less beloved of God than we are, which of course is untrue. We still live in a liberal democracy, that is liberal with a small L, meaning we accept everyone. This is not necessarily the truth around the world, and it is certainly under threat in some parts of the world. Our job as Jews, as Americans, as decent people, is to understand that anyone who is marginalized, for whatever reason, deserves that opportunity, whether they be an individual or a group, to be included in the society and included in the community, especially within the Jewish community, where we believe that we reach God most strongly and most directly when we are part of a Kehillah Kadoshah, when we are part of a sanctified and holy community, congregation, people of Israel. And so as we read through Tazria Metzora this year, let's not just be repulsed by the very ancient ideas which we have, thank God, grown beyond, but let's concentrate on understanding and identifying who are the Metzorim, who are those who are isolated in our own society, And what can we, as a Mamlechet Kohanim, as a nation of Kohanim, a nation of priests, do to bring them back into the fold and help them connect with other humans, with other groups, and with God as well? Have a great week and a wonderful Shabbat.